Hello everybody. In this video, let us discuss about how to break events, okay, by using timestamp. And not only that, how to format a particular timestamp, okay, we'll be seeing in this particular video. So in the earlier video also we have seen how to break a particular event into different events, and also how to break an event into different lines also we have seen in earlier video. So in this video let us discuss how to break an event by using timestamp. So in order to do that one, so I'll be taking a sample events file where I do have already in handy. So this is the particular file I do have. So if I open this one, so these are the particular events. Okay, these are three events where I do have. Okay, so now let us try these events, these sample events into our Splunk environment, and let us explore how to let us see what will be happening first of all, right? So for that sake I have to go to my particular web interface, and this is my Splunk web interface, and I'll be giving my credentials. Once after giving the credentials, I can log into the particular web interface. And now, as we have seen in the earlier video, I'll be going into the settings tab, and I'll be clicking on this add data, where I can always include the particular files, whatever I have shown you, that particular file into my Splunk environment. I can simply click on this upload button over here, and I can select the particular file. Okay, so this is the particular file we are talking about, data underscore timestamp. So I'll be including this particular file over here. Okay, so now if I click on next button over here, see, whatever the three events that we have seen, Splunk has taken it only a single event, right? It is taking it as a single event. Now we will be dividing this particular single event by using timestamp. Okay, by using the timestamp. See, whatever the timestamp that we have got in each of the particular events, however Splunk is showing as a single event, we will be dividing into different events over here, right? So in order to do that one, so as I have discussed in the previous class, previous video, right? So we have to go to this advanced tab in the left pane over here, okay, where we'll be finding all the particular settings over here. We won't disturb the existing settings over here, but we'll be adding new settings. So for that sake, I'll be clicking on new setting over here. And now if you see this particular timestamp, so we have to, because based on this we are going to divide. So whatever the timestamp that we are finding, right, so we have to give the same pattern over here. Okay, for that reason, if you see over here before the timestamp, we do have GMT as the time format, right? GMT as the time format. So what I'll be doing, I'll be giving a parameter as time underscore prefix. Okay, time underscore prefix as the parameter I will be giving over here. And across this one, the value I will be giving as GMT. GMT as the value I'll be giving, because my timestamp is based on GMT, right? So that's why I'll be giving this particular value, okay, for the time prefix. And again, if you see over here, so the time format, if you observe over here, this is in year, month, date, okay, and again if you see the time, it is hours, minutes, seconds. After seconds we do have 3 milliseconds as well. Okay, so this seconds is having decimal point as well, and after decimal point we do have 3 digits after the decimal point. That means in milliseconds also we do have the particular seconds thing. So in that format we have to give this parameter. So for that sake, what I'll be doing, I'll be adding a new setting over here, and the parameter I'll be giving as time underscore format. Time underscore format is the parameter I'll be giving. Okay, and as I have specified you right now, so it is in, if you consider the date, it is in year, month and date format, right? So for that sake, I will be giving as percentage capital Y for year, hyphen we do have, and again percentage M I will be giving for month, and hyphen percentage D for date. Sorry, small d I have to give. Okay, and again, so I'll be specifying as T after this one, right? This means that So once after giving the date format, if I specify capital T over here, it indicates that the time is going to be started. Okay, so I'm going to give the time format. So here also we do have find the same thing, right? So that's why here also we are giving T as the particular thing where it indicates that the starting of the particular time format. Okay, so that is the thing. And again, for time, if you consider, we do have hours format first of all. So that's why I'll be specifying capital H. Okay, capital percentage capital H, I'll specifying colon percentage capital M, I'll specifying for minutes, and colon percentage capital S, I'll be specifying. Okay, and if you see over here, we do have three decimal places after the particular seconds digit, right? So that's why what I'll be doing, I'll be putting dot over here. And for that reason, because I should get three, it should match the three digits, right? So that's why I'll be saying percentage 3n. Okay, percentage 3n, this is the particular format we have to specify. Okay, so here T is for the starting of the time, and percentage 3 means we will be specifying three digits. We will be specifying up to three decimal places after the seconds digit. Okay, this is the format that we have to give, right? So once after this one, so we have to give another setting as well. So in this particular setting, we will be giving max timestamp look ahead. Okay, max underscore timestamp underscore look ahead is the particular parameter will be giving. And across this one, we have to provide a value. So what value will providing? So if you see the actual timestamp value, what is the actual timestamp value? So starting from, so this 2016, this is the year format, right? From here till here. Okay, excluding this GMT. So this is the actual time format. If you see over here, it will be of exactly 24 characters. If you count this one, you will be getting 24 characters exactly. So that means what? My maximum timestamp, okay, will be up to 24 characters. That's what I am going to specify to the particular Splunk. Okay, so that's why I'll be putting 24 over here. This is the maximum value that I'll be having for my timestamp. Okay, that is the thing I'm specifying. Okay, so that's it. These are the three parameters that I will be providing: time underscore prefix, time underscore format, and max underscore timestamp underscore look ahead. Okay, these are the particular three parameters I will be providing. And now if I come down over here and if I click on apply settings, okay, so based on the value that we have taken right from here, so based on this particular timestamp, okay, it will be creating the particular new events. Okay, right now this is a single event. This is a single event that Splunk has provided. Now it will be dividing into different events. Okay, so now let us see, clicking on apply settings. See, it will be creating different events like this. Okay, so this is the particular format. Each one has become a different event based on the timestamp that we have. Okay, so like this we can always divide into different events. Now, as I have discussed in the previous video, so these settings, whatever we have given over here, right? So this is a good practice, even in your real time as well. It is a good practice to come over here to check the sample events, okay, and to and to get these sample events into your Splunk interface and to check like this. It's a good practice. And once if you think that it is feasible, then what you can do, you can copy whatever the thing that is provided over here, copy to clipboard link. If you click over here, so it will be providing the configurations over here. These configurations you can always copy, okay, and you can always paste it in the props.configuration file. Okay, so that you can always do that, so that it will be useful. So beforehand itself you can always check over here, and then you can always implement this in the particular props.configuration file. So this is the thing in this particular video, and again with another topic we'll be meeting again. Until then, have a great time. Bye bye.